Yeah, the Curry Club started 33 years ago. We run 11 Curry Clubs at the moment over the whole of the UK. They are focused at property, finance and construction, normally attract between 60 to 100 people. There's three key things. It's relaxed, it's focused, and it's very much industry specific. The club works because it's a relaxed environment where people do business.
I think one of the best ways to measure the success of a networking group is obviously turnover and seeing increases in sales as a result of that. And we can definitely say, certainly from our Chester Curry Clubs, that we've seen that. We've had direct instructions from people that we've met on the day that have brought follow-on work.
That's what I'm really here today to explain to you, that, yeah, I'm an ecologist, this is my job, and if you just thought about it in some of your development projects slightly earlier, then you know, we can save you a lot of money. If you've got a development project, if you're even thinking about buying a piece of land, it is actually worth getting a project team together. Project team should include an ecologist, a landscaper, contaminated land. It should be a whole crew of environmental people. And if we could go out to site, look at your site before you even spend the money, we can tell you how much it's going to cost, rather than 2 months down the line, you're not getting planning permission because you've got great crested newts in a pond 50 metres away. It always happens, and it's something which I've learnt over the years, which is really important. And it's something that I try and get across to all of my clients, that, you know, if we are bought in the initial stages, we can save you a lot of money. An example, last year I worked on a project, and it was a beautiful farmhouse. I went in, I did a bat survey, and I found a maternity roost. Now, that's not great. It's not great for them, and trying to explain it to the house owner is really hard. Steam coming out of their ears, red face, you're the worst person in the world. You let them calm down, and then you try and explain the rest to them. But an average cost of that is, we get sent out, we look in a house, we then have to do activity surveys, we then have to go back to the client, explain that they have bats, and then we have to tell them that they need a licence to build. And then we tell them it might cost £10,000. Now, that's a lot to a private owner, but, you know, it's also a lot that if we delay those building times and schedules of contractors, that can cost twice as much as that, really, because we're having to go back, do surveys all the time. All I can say is that a general thing for me is I go onto site, we have a survey called an initial phase 1 survey. We go out, we go onto the site, we look at what habitats are present. Okay, it could be scrub, it could be woodland, there could be rivers, there could be ponds, there could be quite a few things, but all these are then linked to animals. So I walk on a site, I'm looking at the ground, I'm looking to see what species are there. I'm also looking for ponds, I'm also listening for birds, I'm also thinking, a bat might live in that tree. It's one of these things that we can do very quickly in a day. We can go on site, we can look, we can write a report, we can give it to you and say, this is what we've found. Maybe you need further survey, maybe you don't, but it's one of these things that it's timely. And all of our animals in the UK, they do actually have timing periods for surveys. Most of this is in their active season. A lot of the animals hibernate over the winter. So, you know, now it's newt season. I become nocturnal. I have to get up when the newts get up, which is dusk. And then I work all night. I survey for newts. It's the same with bats. They get up, dusk, dawn. I'm there all night, every night, all the way through the summer, but I'm working for developers to facilitate their development. And in the end, we get this work done, and there are pros to it, because if we can get a developer to save one roost, to build a new roost, or to even think about when we're doing BREEAM developments, to get the new people to get their ecological credits, such as, you know, plant a few more plants in the garden, put up some bird boxes, then, you know, I feel then I have done my job. And I've then opened their eyes to ecology, and maybe on the next project they might consider us first, and they might save themselves some money. But all I'm saying is that ecology in general is really important, and I could stand here for ages and talk about every single species in the UK, but it's not going to help. It's just making that point. As a consultant, I'm not a tree hugger. I'm not one of those. I love my animals. I love saving them, but I think it's important that ecology, landscape, the environment is wrapped into development itself. There are some jigsaw pieces on your table. There's a bit of audience participation at the end of my talk. I want one volunteer from each table just to stand up, read them out and come and put it on the table. Salamanders and newts have the ability to regenerate new limbs, eyes and tissues after injury or The German for bat is Fledermaus. Not only was the food great and the people that I met were also very entertaining and friendly.
If you have contacts that you think I'd really like to get to chat to them a little, or I'd benefit from an informal discussion, or I haven't seen someone for a while, then do think of this as a forum in which you can actually do those informal discussions.